Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your ever-loving host, Shorty, and today I'm going to be reviewing Nubia and the Amazons. And if your first thought is Jason Lee standing up the crowd and saying, "What's a Nubian?" Don't worry, I'm with you. It's fine. It's very funny. We can laugh. We can move on. This is just one of the many Wonder Woman or Trial of the Amazons, I think it is, events. It's comic books tied into this event that's coming out recently, and it's one that I was picking up because I kind of like Vita Ayala, I think it's pronounced, and I wanted to check it out. And I don't really know much about Nubia. To be honest, I kind of don't really know much about Wonder Woman. I read the Diana Warren Johnson one, which is brilliant, mainly because I think the art looks fantastic and it's a really cool, like, post-apocalyptic story. It gives Diana a chance to be like a leader and a general and actual war stuff going on, which is great. But other than that, I really don't know much at all. So I was coming to this one kind of a blank slate, as it were, to see if I could be impressed by it enough to be like, yes, Wonder Woman and various other characters worth checking out. And first thing I will say is the artwork really did its job on this one. I can just show you the cover as a very good example. With the attention to detail on hair and outfits, jewelry, the stance, the facial expression. There's basically that kind of style runs all the way through the comic book, and it definitely adds a lot to it. I mean, even down to architecture, weird little facial expression here and there, like the way somebody holds one arm with their other hand to show nervousness. Like, there's an awful lot to like about the artwork. Occasionally, there's, I think, maybe not enough attention paid to some faces when they're kind of background characters. Once you notice them, they become a little bit like, oh, well, they've obviously concentrated on what they thought was more important rather than giving everything the due care and attention I think it deserves, but can't really hold that against them. The thing that lets it down for me, though, is it really is an issue one. Not much happens other than setting up what's going on. The last few pages are foreshadowing, but in a very odd way. The fact that it's a dream sequence and looks very much like a dream sequence. I'm just going to show you one, like the splash page of it, broken down into vague, like uneven panels. I have no idea what's going on there. And I think the point of the matter is that the person dreaming it doesn't really know what's going on. But then you find out, no, this apparently makes an awful lot of sense to her. It's an omen of doom based on what's been happening with the Well of Souls and the Door of Doom, I think it is. But I was just like, I have no idea what's going on here. This gets to my like big-ish problem with the comic book. Not enough to stop me saying it's good and worth reading, but there's a thing that you can do in movies and books and TV shows, comic books and everything, where if you're dealing with like something that's not normal, something or not average, or however you want to describe it. In this particular instance, Themyscira and Immortal Amazons, you can put in a character who doesn't know what's going on either. And then they ask the kind of questions that you would ask, and they get things explained to them. And it grounds you with the kind of knowledge that you're going to need to fully appreciate what's going on. I'll be trying to think of like a really good example of this one, and the one that came to mind was Winston Zeddemore from the original Ghostbusters. He was a guy who just needed a job, and he had a lot of stuff explained to him because they deliberately cast him as somebody who didn't really have a science background. But obviously, a lot of it was made up science anyway. But because of that, they had a chance to explain some of the made up science and the actual science to him. And he basically was an avatar for the uneducated person watching this movie who might want to know a little bit more about what's going on. This happens in this comic book. There's at least 4 people who came through the Well of Souls, which starts a whole near doom thing that's going to be happening. But these people clearly don't know what's going on. They have no memories of their previous life, but weirdly, they just accept what's going on in Themyscira. They are just like, oh, so we're now like part of this world. Okay, cool. So you're going to like give us tasks and challenges and interviews to find out what our roles will be, without ever being like, yeah, but why? Why are we here? Why is this place like full of other women? Why are we immortal? Why do we have to do roles that you decide for us? Why is our agency removed? And those are questions I actually want to know. I want to figure out what's going on and why this is a major part of it, why the Well of Souls opening up is a big deal. And I want to know how these people are new to the Amazon way of life fit into it. You get a few snippets a little bit, but mostly it's the people just not being sure what's going on, but not really articulating any questions about it. Just exasperation more than anything else. And maybe that's because people don't really explain anything to them. And kind of the assumption is, it'll be all right. Don't worry, we've been through it and we're fine. And that's just kind of lazy thinking. And in terms of writing, I don't necessarily want to say it's lazy writing because they do add some stuff in there. There's some nice little touches. There's some really nice actual moments of character definition going on with the dialogue. But from an outside point of view, I feel like a first issue where you're going to have a lot explained to you to set up the rest of this miniseries, there wasn't enough explained when they had a perfectly good reason and a perfectly good way of doing it. And it left me just a little bit disappointed. That and the dream sequence really meaning nothing to me, but apparently it was a huge revelatory moment. I just can't help but feel that, maybe it's because I don't read much Wonder Woman, I don't know, but it did feel like it was lacking something, and I think that's a crying shame because it looked brilliant. That's it for me today, though. I'm going to come back tomorrow with one more review. Until then, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.